Can I take your order, please?
A Pizza Hut, a Pizza Hut, Kentucky Fried Chicken and a Pizza Hut. McDonald's, McDonald's, Kentucky Fried Chicken and a Pizza Hut. McDonald's, McDonald's, Kentucky Fried Chicken and a Pizza Hut. I like food, Kentucky Fried Chicken and a Pizza Hut. You like food, you like
In 2004, documentary maker Morgan Spurlock set out to find out, why is America so fat? The result of this investigation was Supersize Me. This investigation involved Spurlock eating nothing but McDonald's for 30 days straight. Of course, rules were laid down. 4 to be precise. Rule number 1, no options. You could only eat food that was available over the counter at McDonald's. Rule number 2, no supersizing unless offered. Rule number 3, no excuses. You have to eat everything on the menu at least once. Finally, rule number 4, no giving up. You have to eat 3 square meals a day, breakfast, lunch and dinner. The results of the experiment shocked even the doctors who were monitoring his experiment. Is that any surprise? Because in the words of everyone's favourite Geordie, Cheryl Cole, too much of anything can make you sick.
In only 30 days of eating nothing but McDonald's, I gained 24.5 pounds. My liver turned to fat, and my cholesterol shot up 65 points. My body fat percentage went from 11 to 18%, still below the national average of 22% for men and 30% for women. I nearly doubled my risk of coronary heart disease, making myself twice as likely to have heart failure. I felt depressed and exhausted most of the time, my mood swung on a dime, and my sex life was non-existent. I craved this food more and more when I ate it, and got massive headaches when I didn't. In my final blood test, many of my body functions showed signs of improvement, but the doctors were less than optimistic.
But Morgan, anybody with a right mind knows that too much food from McDonald's is bad for you. Just like too much alcohol is bad, smoking too many cigarettes is also bad. So is eating too many vegetables. For example, if you eat too many carrots, you'll turn orange. And we all know what happens to Popeye when he eats all that spinach. So was there any point in you making this documentary? We took on the world's biggest fast food company, who dominates 40% of the market, who operates in around 119 countries with 1,200 stores in the UK alone, and employs more young Americans than the US Army does. Talk about a super brand. We all know how bad McDonald's is for us, but to make us feel better about satisfying our false needs, McDonald's churns out messages to us through the medium of advertisements. On buses, on our streets, and on our TVs. For example, take the recent ABC of McDonald's campaign.
A is for the apples in our fruit bags. B is for the 100% British and Irish beef in our burgers. C is for the used cooking oil we recycle into biodiesel for our trucks. E is for eggs, free-range eggs. G is for, give or take, how many British and Irish farmers supply our ingredients. And H for the hours we spend on average training our staff each day. J is for the juicy chicken breast we only ever use. K is for...
Who's there?
L&M.
L&M who?
L for our litter patrols, and M for the miles and miles they walk each day. And here's NOPQRNS. Thanks, kids. U is for udders and the lovely organic milk they put in our bottles. V is for all the volunteers we're helping train for London 2012. W is for where do we get nearly all the potatoes for our fries? X marks the spot. Why? Because they taste super. And then there's Z. That's what makes McDonald's.
The advert speaks to us indirectly. It tells us basically not to worry about satisfying your false needs with us. We're good doers, see? It's not like you're funding a terrorist organisation or anything. Look, Morgan, the reason McDonald's does so well is because it's fantastic value for money, and you always have a pleasant experience there. Yes, it's no Michelin-starred restaurant, with some foul-mouthed chef. He's clearly trying to make up for something he's lacking. It's burgers and chips, mate. McDonald's draws customers back because it's built on 3 principles: Q, S, and C. Quality, service and cleanliness. These are the 3 key elements that keep customers coming back for more and more. And as Ray Kroc, the man who franchised the first McDonald's, said, look after the customer, and the business will look after itself. Wise words there. Take for example, Don Goss.
As soon as I got my first car, this is the first place I came to. I bought 3 Big Macs, ate them out there, enjoyed them so much, and I came back about 5 o'clock at night, bought 3 more, ate them out there, Came back around 11 o'clock before they closed and ate 3 more. So the first day I came here, I ate 9 Big Macs, and it was like I couldn't get enough hamburger at that time, and Big Macs are so good. So I ate 265 in the first month.
How many do you eat a day usually?
Usually it's 2 a day. Okay, now last year I ate 741 last year. Okay, well that's more than 2 a day. So that means there's days I had 3, but that's because they're getting smaller. It's probably 90% of my solid diet is probably Big Macs. That parking spot, that's where I asked her if she wanted to get married. I mean, this place is special, a lot of reasons, you know.
Yeah.
I had 1 Whopper in my life.
Yeah.
1984, guy gave me $5 to eat a Whopper. So I went, after I ate the Whopper, took my $5 over to McDonald's, got some Big Macs. I always make fun of people at work, you know, saying, oh, I'm gaining weight. I said, well, you should try the Gorski diet. And they said, oh, yeah. They don't like that.
They don't like that.
Man, this is a perfect sandwich, you know. At least for me it is.
There it is, bite number 19,000.
Well, the wife says when she's got to put them in a blender, it ends. You know, that's what she told me.
Big Mac smoothies.
See, Dom keeps coming back for more and more. McDonald's captivates the respect of children from a young age. This is through products such as the Happy Meal, play areas, balloons, birthday parties, and everyone's favourite clown, Ronald McDonald. The idea behind this is that children become under false consciousness, and McDonald's will satisfy their false needs, hopefully retaining them as lifelong customers. Cigarette companies used to do this. They'd create sweet cigarette sticks for children and put their logo on it. So when they are adults and start smoking, you see that make of cigarette and associate it with the happy memories of when they were a child.
Right, well, he said he'd be here, he promised. Well, we do need to...
Morgan
okay.
Spurlock,
This is
shut the muck up. Hiya.
Just picked up a Mayo chicken for 99p.
The 99p Mayo chicken from the McDonald's Saver menu. Can't argue with that.
See, Morgan, there's no need to get angry at McDonald's. At the end of the day, McDonald's is not an evil dictatorship that forces people to dine there. People know all the dangers that are out there, no matter in McDonald's food, yet they accept the advertisements in a hegemonic fashion and just go with normal society and satisfy their false needs there. Yes, it does contribute to the obesity crisis throughout the world, but so does people's laziness, not to get up, exercise, and make a change. As valid as your points are, Morgan Spurlock, shut the muck up.
Supersize the American way. Throw it down all day, every day. Supersize the American way. Getting fat, getting broke, either way you're gonna pay.